And to go more in depth on the power of AI tools and how you can use them to create your own content, we're joined by CEO of Rebrand Cities, Hajj Flemings. Thanks for coming in once again, Hajj.
I'm excited to be here this morning.
Okay, let's get an overview. Your thoughts on this AI detection technology that's now coming into the play?
Well, just like the professor said, the technology and the software is evolving over time, right? So what can be, I guess, detected today, down the road is going to become even more difficult. And so I think we can lean into using these tools, but at the end of the day, we're going to be looking for human experiences, even with the song that he mentioned. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to follow certain artists, and it's the story behind the music anyway. If you listen to Taylor Swift, right? She's dating Kelsey, you know what I'm saying, today, I guess. I don't know what she'll date like tomorrow. But at the end of the day, if you listen to her music, a lot of it is embedded in the stories and the things that she's experienced in her life. So if she creates a beat that's AI generated, is that going to affect how you feel about her music?
Look at you, keeping up to date in the gossip pages too. All right, that's good to know. You're multifaceted.
I try.
All right, so ChatGPT can now see, hear, and speak. You showed us how this is possible, so we're going to take a look at this and kind of walk us through exactly what it's doing, I guess.
Okay.
Hit the video. There we go.
Can you tell me about a person by the name of H-A-J-J, last name Flemings?
All right, should I be talking?
Yeah, so this ChatGPT here, so it can do multi things now. It can even see, right?
Yes. So here's what we're doing. You know, so now there's a new feature. You would go into settings, you would click new feature, and then click voice. And what it can do is that you can now speak to it. You can now start to have a conversation. This is only available on the mobile app, so in the tablet, on your mobile phone. So from a web browser, you're not able to do this. But you can have a conversation. You can ask it to read a story or to summarize a book, and it can actually do that.
And so how user-friendly is this to create the visual content? Is it, can first-timers do this, or does it take a little getting used to? Is there a user manual?
It's pretty user-friendly. It's almost like Apple products, where you go and you buy an iPad, there's really no instruction, and kids are able to kind of figure this stuff out. So they have it really set up so it's really user-friendly. There's not a high learning curve. And I found it to be very, very fun to use. Also, they're still rolling it out. So but this is only available to ChatGPT Plus subscribers. That means that if you're paying $20 per month. So if you're on the free plan, it's not available for you yet.
No, that makes sense. Okay, so last week you talked about deep fakes and simulating voice. Now, how is this really dangerous? I mean, I know it can be annoying, but is it actually dangerous?
There are people who are using this in nefarious ways, right? You can do voice cloning, and with voice cloning, you could you could train the model, you could use a celebrity, and then you could text or type in a script and create a video that sounds like it's actually that artist, right? And so there's you can use something that's called like 11 Labs, right? And so there are good use cases and there are negative use cases. I could say, hey, look, I created this video series on marketing, and I want to translate this to Mandarin, Spanish, and I can literally go in, it'll dub it, and I can translate it to 10 different languages in a matter of a few minutes.
All right, what about an AI app that has text-to-speech technology? Can you recommend one of those or share one of those?
Yeah, so so there's a few different ones. You can look at like the script, and so like that's a really, really good platform. And what it does is that you can put the video in, and then it can take all the filler words out, like the ums. Everybody's not as professional as you, Chris, and so lots of times that would kind of help just to kind of be able to address that kind of stuff.
All right, now there's also content writing AI tools. Now that's what the Hollywood strike is basically going on about.
Yes.
Are there ones that you think people can use for good, not to just rip off a TV show and then send it in for production?
Yes, and I think they've actually come up with at least a temporary, I guess agreement like with Hollywood so far. But you can use something called Jasper. You can use ChatGPT. Jasper is more business orientated. And so there are various tools that might have a certain lean towards stuff. I found that ChatGPT is very powerful, but Jasper is a very, very interesting tool that you can use to create blog posts. And there's a variety of different use cases that are already kind of queued up that makes it really easy for you to be able to generate fresh new content.
And you had some interesting stuff to talk about with a Spanish app. Can you kind of expand on that?
So yeah, so I was referring back to like 11 Labs, right? And so what I did is I took the actual video that I did here, and I said, okay, all right, I want to translate it because maybe there's people who would like to hear it who only know Spanish as their native language, and so we just translated it, right? And so and it was pretty easy to do that.
All right, well, we have some video of that, so let's take that video and see how it all turned out.
So here, we're going through, doing all the details.
Vamos a llegar a un punto en el que cada estudiante va a tener un tutor virtual. Cada maestro va a tener.
You're bilingual.
And I've never taken a Spanish class. And so just think it how easy. Imagine if you had a training company and you're like, you know what, I want to be able to set these videos up in multiple different languages. And the ability to be able to do that is there. You could go translate slides and do a series of things, but a very, very powerful tool in a very short period of time.
That is very impressive stuff, and that wasn't even that hard to do.
No, I did that in about, probably in about 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yes.
Look at you, just speaking Spanish like that.
Yeah, you know it.
Hajj, always a pleasure when you come by. You're teaching us so much stuff about AI and where we sit right now in this evolutionary technology that changes every week.
But I want you to know that you can never be replaced, Chris.
All right, well, I hope, hopefully you're right. A few bosses in the past have already disagreed.